Good morning, Ratman. I'm your host, Commissar Che, and joining me is my co-host, Sanctioned Mutant Corgi.
So true.
Today's episode is brought to you by famous rats giving each other CTE for charity. Watch all the rats you know and love slowly chip away at their health for your entertainment and a tiny bit of money for charity, or sometimes maybe no money for charity.
Top 10 things I don't understand. Part 1.
Okay, so 15 minutes into the recording, because we started off with some end of video content, we are going to get into the episode. Today's episode is going to be a brief overview of all the Xenos races in 40k.
The Xeno racisms?
Yeah, as an aside, some people pronounce it Xenos. I don't like that. But that's how they pronounce it in like the actual media. Like if you play like the Warhammer Space Marine games, they're just like, oh, the Xenos attack, and it's just like, shut up.
Did the voice actor just have a stroke?
That's just how they pronounce it. I guess that's just how they pronounce it in Britain is Xenos. But no, it's Xenos. But you know, that's fine. That's chill. That's fine. You're wrong, but that's fine. I will defend that they pronounce lieutenant correctly. Fuck yourself. If you're like, no, it's lieutenant. No, it's lieutenant. Shut up.
It is lieutenant?
Yes.
Or is it lieutenant?
It's lieutenant. The Xenos races in 40k and like a brief overview of all the Xenos races in 40k. It's not at all. And
Very brief overview. 3 hours later, and that was part 1.
Yeah, it's 3-ish.
3 minutes and everything else.
Yeah. And some of the information about the Imperium. It's a little bit of information about the Imperium. Not too much, but a little. In a sort of a lore primer, if you will. And a good place to learn what you need to know about, you know, some of the world. Now, usually for my sources, my primary source is the Codex / Battle Tome for Age of Sigmar of the specific topic. And then I look around for alternative sources for if I need more information about specific things. However, on this specific topic, GW put together a nice 40k primer called the Imperial Infantryman's Uplifting Primer. Now, this is actually an in-canon book. Like, this is a real book that exists within the settings. Every guardsman gets given this book when they join the guard. But they also publish the book in the real world. So
that's pretty
we
good,
get to read it. Yeah. There's a couple of books like that.
Like the Necronomicon, except it's not as fun as the actual Necronomicon.
When I was doing the Abhumans, my primary source was a book like that. It was a in-universe book.
Day of Ascension.
No, that's not.
No, I know. I just wanted to bring it up again. It's a good book.
Okay. I don't remember what the Abhumans book was, but it was covering of a lot of alien races and Abhumans and stuff. But it was like the biology of alien races rather than the, you know, everything else. So, we're going to start, much like this book for the Xenos, with orcs.
Fuck yeah, we love orcs.
Yeah. We don't love orcs. Yeah. So now, aside from humanity, orcs exist in the highest number, and they amass in large cowardly war bands to overwhelm the superior might of the Imperium in sheer numbers.
Did they do it?
No. Imperium wins every time. They do this because they are cowards. It's that simple.
They're not cowards, they're just courage challenged.
No, they just do this like the cowards they are. Now, we don't actually know what an orc is. There are theories that suggest that orc females look identical to orc males, or even wilder suggestions that they are a fungus and reproduce asexually through spores.
Oh, right, yeah. And then I made a West of Loathing reference that you didn't get.
They are barely more intelligent than a plant, but do have a strange knack for technology, albeit very simply. They are easily outsmarted and can be confused by loud noises or sudden movement. They exist solely to fight. The largest and most vicious of their clan will become their leaders, but this is an advantage because they are so stupid and have no cunning that they can be easily outsmarted and every move can be predicted.
Does that make me an orc?
Probably. Though I believe I did say you are a sanctioned mutant.
Yeah, well, orcs can be mutants too, man. Don't be mutism.
No, they should be treated the same as mutants, though.
Bound alive at the cross?
More or less.
Degenerates like you belong on there anyway.
Yep.
Fuck off, Sims.
Okay.
No, I just got a notification. Like, sorry, go on.
Okay. Orcs can be scary though. They are very resistant to pain and can regenerate wounds quickly. The simple solution, however, is to just shoot them more. And you can have great fun while doing it. Now,
Yeah, team building exercise.
the orcs will appear scary at first. They are taller than an average man and very muscular. However, they don't have the same muscle density as a human and are actually weaker than an average man. So
Suckers.
if you do get into hand-to-hand combat with an orc, they can be easily overpowered. As far as appearance, quote, their skin is thick and coarse and ranges in hue from green to almost black. Portions of their body are covered in stiff black hair. Their brow is heavy, denoting their lack of intelligence, and their almost useless eyes have a red cast to them.
Oh my god, they're cacti?
They also appear to have fearsome tusks, but these are not sharp and can be simply ripped from their mouth with a firm tug.
Hey, yoink, your tooth is mine now.
Yep.
That's why they use them as currency.
So, now as far as orc types go, we got the tiny little Gretchens, right? The orcs will send these guys in first, and they are pretty harmless and can be easily dispatched with flamethrowers to clear them out. They will get confused by the light and heat, and it will fuck with their lines even more.
Well, yeah, giant suits of armor with Flammenwerfers.
This is
I
a guardsman.
think I would leave too.
This is not. This is just for guardsmen, not space marines. This is a book for the guardsmen. These are humans with flammenwerfers. We're not talking about the Emperor's angels. We're talking about his staunch defenders, the Imperial Guard.
Oh my god, I have to hold on.
Astra Militarum.
One moment.
Did you fuck something up? Did you draw a space marine?
No, luckily I didn't. I was still drawing the art goblin. But
What'd you do?
Emperor's angels, but draw them as Charlie's angels.
Oh, okay. Is this you learning that the space marines are called the Emperor's angels?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just so funny. I'm gonna have them proper slaughterified.
Okay. So, next up, we got the boys. Now, this is with a Z, just in case it wasn't established. These are your bog standard orcs. Their guns are trash and will frequently misfire and jam. And just a good few rounds from any of the well-trained guardsmen into their heads or body is enough to take them down.
So I just still can't get over da boys.
Yeah, the boys. Now, following that, we got the knobs.
I guess they're from, Cornwall? I think it's Cornwall? I don't know.
Why? What?
It's late when we're recording this.
Yeah, not late enough for you to not explain what the fuck you mean by it's from Cornwall.
I say that because I've already forgotten what they were called. Knobheads?
You heard it here first, guys. Corgi thinks knobs come from Cornwall.
No, fucking knob jockey and knobheads and shit. That's a common insult in Cornwall.
I think this is a common insult in Britain.
That's where fucking Cornwall is.
Yeah.
I think.
You're correct, but Cornwall is a very, very small part of Britain.
I was just trying to remember where Chav City was.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. That's Cornwall. Anyway, Cornwall is you know England, right? How it's got the little jutty out bit to the west?
Yes.
That's Cornwall.
Oh, that's so itty bitty.
Yeah.
That's where they breed them.
Yeah. Used to be a independent kingdom. The knobs, these are larger boys, usually wearing shite versions of power armor. They usually pack heavy weaponry, be it gun or melee, which is a bonus because they love the sound and get distracted by the noise. So you can just easily sneak up and shoot them between the eyes.
This noise loud and fun. Buenos dias, fuckboy. Sorry.
That's fine. So Corgi.
Don't you do it. I know that tone, Che. Don't you do it.
So next we have the Tyranids.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Before that, it's our fan favorite segment. Whose boat is that boat? Corgi, whose boat is that boat?
Fuck you! God, you're a knob jockey. I'm going to shit in your eyes. I hate you so much.
Corgi, whose boat is that boat? I sent you the boat. Whose fucking boat is it?
The War boat?
Warboat.
Wah.
What do you think it is?
I told you, I think it's a Warg.
You think that is a War?
Warg. You know, orcs.
Yeah, that's pronounced War.
Wah.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is, because that seems exactly like something you would say. It's like, look out, it's the Wah!
Okay, so you think... So when the orcs go, Wah! You think that's what they're referencing?
No, I know it's that battle cry, but I just think it would be fucking funny if it's like, yo, we made this giant fucking thing, it's loud, it's screamy, what if we call it the Wah?
Okay, what if I give you a little hint, right? So, the pilot of that is locked in and permanently interred into that vehicle.
A naughty Wah.
What do you think that is?
I think they got one of those little tiny little fuckers that are just like, you know what? I'm sick of your shit, man. Let's throw him into the fucking mech suit.
Corgi, please. What do you think that vehicle is called? What do you think it is?
The dick twister?
Who?
The old dick twist?
Who else inters people into vehicles?
Wait, sorry, hang on. So Space Marines just grabbed orcs and shoved them into things?
No, the Space Marines don't do the orcs, but you're on the right track. So if the Space Marines do that, and the orcs do that, what do you think that is?
It's the orc version of a Space Marine.
Coggy.
I'm sorry, man.
What is the name of the Space Marine thing that they do that to?
I've forgotten.
When they put someone in the machine,
In the
what is that?
sarcophagus.
In the sarcophagus, what is the machine that sarcophagus is hooked up to called?
A Gundam?
Fucking Gundam.
I can't remember the name.
Corgi, we did a whole episode on this. We did a whole episode on this.
Shay, it's me.
You remembered sarcophagus. You remembered it was the sarcophagus. You remembered it was the Space Marines. The Space Marines put them in the sarcophagus, and the sarcophagus goes in what?
Hold on, I'm opening a power simulator. The Dreadnought.
The Dreadnought! This was supposed to be like a 30-second bit, and it was like 5 minutes.
Because I'm a silly Billy. Hey guys, just in case we didn't update you, I've now had in the past 2 weeks 2 teeth extracted. I am in severe pain.
That doesn't explain you forgetting Dreadnought.
Yes, it does, because all I can think of is how when I left my dentist on Wednesday, you know what he fucking said to me? See you next week. Because he was fully prepared that I'd see him next week. And you know what? Maybe he will. Maybe next week I'll have to have another molar pulled and just be sitting there looking at him like, hide and guess what? It's
Brush
me.
your fucking teeth, woman.
I do now. I just wish it didn't happen so painfully.
But yeah, so it's a fucking Dreadnought. Oh, Jesus. See, orcs create bastardizations of glorial Imperial machines, either from scratch or change captured Imperial tanks. This is their attempt to create a Dreadnought from the ground up, called a Def Dread, that is DEFF. And, as I said, much like the Astartes Dreadnought, the orc needs to be permanently locked in and wired.
We have the Dreadnought at home.
Yeah.
Dreadnought at home.
But as far as other vehicles go, it is real easy to recognize an orc vehicle. It is real hard to recognize what type of vehicle it is.
Like a Gundam.
Like, it does say they could be pretty easily recognizable that an Imperial tank is an actually captured orc tank because they have painted red stripes on it to make it go faster.
And it works.
But what type of tank that is, you don't know because it's covered in orc shit. They've just put random weapons and fucking symbols and everything on top of it and you go, it's an orc thing. Is it a fucking Rogel Dawn? Is it a Lehman Russ? Who knows? For the record, Imperial Guard tanks are named after Primarchs. Or some of them are. 2 of them are.
That must be awkward. Well, Primarch died. What? In battle?
Well,
What?
I think they're named after it because they found the STC from memory. So, or like the Space Wolves found the STC and they went, we'll name it Lehman Russ after your Primarch, and same for Rogaldorn. Be real funny if they had like the fucking Angron Pattern tank and everyone's just like, the fuck's an Angron? They go, don't worry about it. There's nothing. There's no Angron. It's just a funny name we came up with one day.
It's just this weird sound that we made with our throats one day. We were like, that'll do.
There's only 9 Primarchs. 8? 9. There's only 9 Primarchs. There was only ever 9 Primarchs?
Depends on how generous the Emperor is feeling.
The Emperor created exactly 9 Primarchs, and everything went great all of the time for them until they all left. And that's all that happened. It's that simple. That is the Imperial truth, and this episode is all about the Imperial truth. That is simply what happened. So, when these Orc tanks are destroyed, which they should be, it is best to give a prayer to the machine spirit inside the vehicle so it can go in peace.
Wait, they're doing some tech priest shit? That's a bit weird.
Corgi, have we ever talked about the machine spirits?
I thought that was just tech priest hoover.
See, you'd think that. You would in fact think that. Because, according to tech priests, all machines have a spirit. The AdMech, they believe all machines have a spirit. From the largest machine, be it a spaceship, or a gun. A lasgun has a machine spirit. And you must appease the machine spirit. And this can be quite simple as applying the right oils while giving the right prayers and so on and so forth. It's pretty simple to appease the machine spirit. So if to appease the machine spirit, you just need to take care of it, right? Then does it even exist? Or is it just the machine sometimes fails because you're not taking proper care of it?
Like,
so maybe the machine
not having an antivirus on it.
Yeah. Maybe the machine spirit doesn't exist. Maybe. But then why do sometimes, when the entire crew of a tank get killed, the tank keeps fighting? Why does that happen? If there's no machine spirit, why is the tank fighting on its own? Why is everyone dead inside the tank if the tank is still firing at enemies? Why is it doing that?
Quirky.
So, maybe the AdMech have some points when they talk about the machine spirits. Maybe they're correct. Maybe all machines do in fact have a spirit.
Or maybe they just have autopilot. Have you ever thought of that? Fucking nerd.
That's a theory, but it's also worth remembering. An autopilot is an AI, and an AI,
is a
albeit
fucking
rudimentary,
servo to skull.
No, that's a servo skull. That's a human being. That is a human computer. An AI is an abominable intelligence and is not permissible under any circumstances. So even if a machine has a very rudimentary AI, that is not allowed. So it cannot have an AI. There is no AI in any tanks because they cannot have AI because AI are bad. So why the fuck is the tank still firing when the crew's dead, Corgi?
Because... What if they've just got an Alexa? They salvaged an Alexa from the before times.
Abominable intelligence.
Imagine that being revealed and it's just like a tech priest walks in one day talking to someone with some new recruit being like, hello, recruit Alexa, and they just hear a chime from above. How can I help you?
I love the idea of like them discovering an Alexa and like it pings on and it's like, how may I help you today? And they just go, abominable intelligence. I just rack their fucking las guns and just open fire on this tiny little desk on the like thing on the desk. They're just like, nah, shit. Chaos could get that. Fuck it. Kill it.
It's a spy it's a chaos spy. Kill it. I'm sorry. I did not get that. Can you please repeat your sentence? Whoop.
I think it's the first Gorn's Ghost book. They discover an STC and they're like, oh, fucking baller, STC, these are important. And then it's like the STC makes Men of Iron and they're like, oh, bad. And then it turns out the STC makes Men of Iron who are corrupted by chaos and they're like, oh, that's worse. Oh, God, that's worse.
Oh, no. It got worse.
This is the worst thing that could have possibly happened to us. Oh, never mind. No, there was worse to go. Next, we got Tyranids. We'll move on to the Tyranids section. Yeah. So now we've covered NIDs before, but we will go over them again for anyone who missed that video, which is some people. As we know, they come from another galaxy. They are vastly outmatched by the forces of the Imperium, and they are clearly mindless, dumb creatures because anything with any intellect would fuck right off when they see the organized forces of the Imperium.
Which reminds me, hey, is anyone a fan of the Halo universe? No reason. No reason.
Are you trying?
Gravemind.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I thought you were referencing a fan theory about the Tyranids that I do not like. Most people do not like them.
Don't say they're the fucking flood.
No. So there's a fan theory about the Tyranids. What was it? Ancient humans attacked the Forerunners because the ancient humans were actually secretly fleeing the flood. Like, that's a book plot point if you are aware of that, and that's why the Forerunners devolved the humans and then made them apes and put them on Earth.
Yeah. And then they were like, you know what? Fuck you. You're never gonna inherit fucking space crowns.
Mantle of responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you guys. And then a few million years later, we're just popping up like, hey.
Yeah.
Guess
but there's
what,
a fan theory. There's a fan theory that the Tyranids are fleeing something, and that's why they're here. And a lot of people don't like it because it's kind of dumb, and it adds, at the end of the day, it adds absolutely nothing to the plot. And like I say fan theory, it's been loosely implied in the text as an in-canon theory, rather than like not being like, oh, it's like we don't know why they're attacking. Here are some theories. And one of them is they might be fleeing something, but it's never treated with any like sort of
tangibility.
Yeah, tangibility. We basically know why they're here. Someone blew up the Pharos device in Horus Heresy, and it made a psychic ping that was so incredibly loud that it managed to breach the galaxy and get into other galaxies, like in the warp. And that's what got the Tyranids aware of the Milky Way's existence, and that's what got them coming. It was that specific thing. But from memory, there's also some other fucky-wucky stuff. With like, it's sort of a bit complicated as to why they're here, but that was what made them aware. They went, oh, food, neat.
Why is that donut speaking to me? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna eat it anyway.
But because the Tyranids are a relatively new threat, not much is known, but they are generally believed to be controlled by a singular hive mind. And if you kill the hive mind, you kill the hive, which is obviously very different to the human mind of an Imperial soldier, which functions autonomously within the structures of the noble Astra Militarum. There is a simple rule when fighting the Tyranids.
Kill them
cool,
all.
You want to guess it? Nope. Want to take a second guess?
Burn it before it spreads?
Nope.
Nuke it from orbit?
Nope. Shoot the big ones. Seriously, shoot the big ones.
One of the small ones.
It will send confusion through the Tyranid ranks as their controlling synapses are killed.
Oh, yeah, sort of like the reason you attack a big one is because it's a bigger sort of mind explosion compared to if you attack a little one where it's just like, ow. Dude, that was kind of irritating.
Outside of the information given in the book, they have controlling synapses. So the Tyranid mind is not complex enough to be able to basically take or like receive orders. So they have a big unit which gives orders to bigger units, which give orders, or not big units, smaller units, which give orders to smaller units, which give orders to smaller units. And if you kill one of them in that chain, like the big unit, it just kind of sends a psychic shockwave that just fucks with the entire hierarchy as it tries to like get a new signal and get new bits of control. And if you just completely sever all synapses, they just break. They just stop functioning and just sort of go, and will sort of disappear. Gene stealers, again, not established within the canon of the book that I'm reading. It's just a thing that we know. They are able to function autonomously.
The gene stealers are what I'm part of.
Yeah, they can get absolutely fucked over by the synapse breaking, but they are still able to function because a lot of the synapse breaking sends out psychic damage, like literally psychic damage, that can just fucking obliterate a Tyranid if it's close enough to the
like a DNA bomb.
The thing that got killed. Yeah, it's just like physically like rips it apart psychically if they're too close. It's just like,
Why is
But if they're
Kenneth screaming? Hey, Kenneth,
Yeah.
you're... Ah!
if they're far enough away, they'll just get confused and stop doing anything. And if they're gene stealers, they won't get confused and stop doing anything. They will just run and hide, basically, and start a cult.
Speaking of cults, have you pre-ordered your robes today?
Yeah. But we don't know this because today's episode is only about the Imperial truth. And this is not the Imperial truth. So don't tell anyone I told you any of this.
Secret.
Shh. It's a secret.
And if you snitch, we'll fucking kill you.
No, if it snitches, we just have to make sure that we keep the Imperial truth. Just, give them the Emperor's mercy. Imperial truth.
You're gonna be a fucking servo skull by the end of the week, Gronkhead.
That's not the Imperial Emperor's mercy.
I don't give a shit. I want that bitch to be a servo skull that's just constantly filtering feet pics. You will suffer. Anyway, I do hope you like the different change in art style for this one. The app I use has a pencil feature, and I am very much enjoying it. Keep talking, Che.
Because the silences get edited out automatically, I just wanted to be known. There was about 20-second silence after Corgi said
Help.
feet pics, and I just didn't say anything. I just let her dig her hole.
It's my hole. It was made for me.
We'll skim through some of the details because this is covered in our other episode, and it's not as interesting. Also, maybe watch that episode. I think that was quite possibly the worst episode we've ever made, but it's fine. Anyway, Tyranid weapons, right, is made up exclusively of organic material, which is disgusting. They are built into their...
I have a horrible thought that's probably been thought of many times.
The horsecock gun?
No, I was gonna say, what if they could have fucking fingernail knives? And when they broke off, it was actually ripping off the whole finger. What the fuck is the horsecock gun?
We talk about this in the Tyranid episode. Hold on. I love having to Google Tyranid horsecock.
You better not have opened up incognito. Don't be a pussy.
I didn't. There's this. There we go. This is the specific meme I wanted. There's a great one.
Oh. Oh boy.
Anyway, fucking their weaponry is made up of exclusively organic material, and they are built into their abominable and disgusting bodies, and they fire living beings. Their close quarters weaponry is also built into their bodies, but if they get into a range, a quick stab with a blade in between the armor is enough to kill it, and get the surrounding Tyranids to back off.
If you want to play Tyranid Simulator, there's a game out there called Scorn, which is all I can think of right now when you say everything you just said.
I was trying to make a fucking everything's a drum reference as best as I could, but my brain is too frizzle frazzle.
Everything's a gun.
See, I was thinking everything's a gun, but everything's not a gun. It was more like everything's alive, but it doesn't work as well as everything's a gun.
It really doesn't.
Broden, what the fuck? Anyway, so most people's natural response to seeing them for the first time is to be thoroughly disturbed and horrified, which is a completely valid response and really shows how these aliens should be destroyed.
And it's the same response I get when I leave my house.
Yeah, if your soul is offended by their existence, let your soul guide you. Quote, use the disgust that will well inside you like a fountain, and turn that disgust into hatred. Hatred for the abominable form of the alien. Hatred for the atrocities they have performed in their endless quest for domination. Teach them they will not advance further into the realms of the immortal emperor. Teach them with a blast from your gun and a thrust from your bayonet. Remember, always, that the Tyranid fleets should be regarded as nothing more than vermin to be eradicated from our galaxy.
When you said
everything's a drum. Everything's a drum.
Yeah, I just imagined it. Not a space marine, but an Imperial infantryman, just so it's come to this when he's facing the horsecock Tyranid. Drops his trousers. On guard!
Imagine getting killed by a... No, never mind, don't worry.
So you've played Dicky Stabby before? I'm not drawing that.
I started to say a thing, and then I realized exactly how that conversation is going to end, and I went, no, don't worry.
You've played knifey stabby before, huh?
You and I are talking about two different things. But anyway, fucking...
Oh no, I didn't mean to draw a ballsack.
What the...
Nothing, I've erased it.
We've never... the audio will be in there. Proof of what you did. Anyway, we never really talked about Tyranid units all that much, so quick rundown of some. Lictors.
No, thank you.
I think we talked a tiny bit about it, but anyway.
Yeah,
Lictors,
I feel like I would have said Lictors nuts.
we talked about the Neurolictor and how everyone wants to fuck it.
Oh yeah, the horny one.
Yeah, I only think I talked about like 3 Tyranids specifically. Anyway, these freaks use biocamouflage to hide. They are pretty good, but will panic and scream in the face of strobing lights. Corgi, do you know what produces strobing lights?
Epilepsy?
Corgi, are you dumb?
Yes. And also a lot of gunfire, muzzle flash.
Yes, but slightly adjacent. The standard issue las gun. It's not the muzzle flash, it's the lasers being fired from the las gun. So, shoot them from a distance and they will effectively neutralized.
Just like how you neutralize an epileptic.
Yeah. Yo, imagine being conscripted in the guard and you have epilepsy. Fucking rip.
You know, if you have that gene, I think they did that just to prove a point, just being like, see, don't be fucking broken.
I got a little picture here for you. This is a picture of a gene stealer, as per the primer. Next, we have gene stealers. You know them. They are the front line will attack by sprinting forward and attacking you with their puny claws. Just shoot them. They will attack each other when panicked. They're just so easy to deal with.
Sorry, I'm writing aggressive flashing lights.
Okay. Then we've got biovores. Honestly, there's not much you can do against these. They are mortar from the back line, so simply fire mortars back. That's all you can really do. As the standard guardsman, you're not going to be seeing them. They're going to be behind the enemies that you need to be shooting at. And lastly, gargoyles. It's like being attacked by birds. Like, yeah, it sucks and is confusing, but they don't do a real large amount of damage, and if you just fire wildly into the sky, you are bound to hit a bunch of them, and they break ranks. Easy.
I'm just thinking of Gargoyles, the Disney Channel show.
Yeah. I used to watch that as a kid when it aired.
Pay a man enough money and he'll walk barefoot into hell.
Yeah. Anyway, Eldar. Now, despite looking a lot like humans, they aren't. They are firmly
They're
alien.
cowboys. Sorry.
Fuck them. In the killing way, not the other way. Those rumors about Gilliman are heretical. Same with the rumors of the Khan. But also, you know, he's been doing, like, what's he been doing for 10,000 years? Gotta fill that god hole somehow.
Am I right, kids?
Yeah. I wonder how many times I've referenced Always Sunny in the show. But also, again, that was not the Imperial truth. Shh. We don't.
About Fight Club.
This episode is only about the Imperial truth.
Top secret.
Only this one. Yeah. So, Eldar banging aside, they are completely untrustworthy.
Just like the Emperor.
No. We don't talk ill of the Emperor in this episode. This episode is the Imperial truth. We don't talk ill of the Emperor.
We don't talk about how the Emperor's totally
in this episode.
He's a good egg.
No. Corgi, you are a sanctioned mutant and you're putting that on fucking test.
You're on thin fucking ice.
We're getting real close to Commissar talk.
Real close to heresy, man.
We'll talk about what we need to do towards the end of the episode.
Why is there a red laser dot in front of me? Oh no.
So, they are completely untrustworthy. They are pirates that prey on the weak and enjoy pain and bloodshed of the innocent.
I thought they were
the whole thing. What?
Eldar, are
like,
they
I know
the three-armed ones?
The what?
The 3-armed ones?
No. That's gene stealer cults.
Oh, silly me. Well, at least now I have an excuse to draw cowboys versus pirates.
Eldar are space elves.
Oh, right, Eldar. Like, yeah, I got it now. I don't know why.
Eldari. Yeah. So
It's been a
their
long day for
whole
me.
yeah, their whole thing is attacking outpost worlds who can't defend themselves. They will absolutely fuck off and run away if they are in a more equal match. One downside of the Eldar, most likely due to their age, they are smart and cunning, and quote, they have pallid skin and sharp features and shifty eyes that betray their untrustworthy nature. They are smooth in their movements, but their bodies are brittle and easily broken. But in general, they are thinner than a human, and as such, much weaker. A simple hit with the side of your las gun should be enough. Just break their ribs.
That's what they fucking get.
It also helps that they are so fast they can get in close enough real quick to just hit them.
They just impale themselves, they're that fast.
Yeah. And while they are smarter than orcs and more autonomous than nids, the fact they are physically weaker and have to make up for it with wanky, over-complex technology means they are no match for the Guard, the greatest fighting force in the galaxy, save only for the Emperor's Angels.
Which are not Charlie's Angels.
Which are not Charlie's Angels, correct. The good thing about the Eldar, though, is they are almost extinct and will eventually be wiped out by the might of the Imperium.
Take that, pointy-eared fox.
Yeah. As far as as units, their quote elite, which is no match for an average guardsman, are their aspect warriors, each representative of an aspect of battle. Striking scorpions are their close combat units. The howling banshees, who do the same thing but faster and scream the entire time in terror. And fire dragons, who, despite what you would guess from the name, are not flamethrowers, but instead anti-tank.
Stupid.
Yeah. Do you know what's great about that, Corgi?
Aside from not being fucking cool-ass fire-breathing dragons?
I just mean general. The aspect warriors. You know what's cool about their aspect warriors?
Oh, no.
They are exclusively able to do one thing, albeit very well, but compared to a regular guardsman who excel at doing many things very well. It gives the guardsmen the perfect opportunity to attack them in one of their many, many weaknesses. Striking scorpions can be ripped apart with a volley of gunfire before they even get close enough to use their swords. And banshees have fuck all armor. Just lob a bunch of grenades at the weak-ass losers and boom, you win.
Victory is yours.
Next, Eldar defenders. These are just conscripts. They aren't natural fighters and they get easily confused in battle, mystified by the sound and carnage. Quote, treat them like errant children, for such they are. And then we got Rangers. Rangers are disenfranchised Eldar. Eldar are a pirate race seeking out death and destruction. They attack trade and supply ships and planetary outposts. The Rangers are that, but without a home. They just travel the galaxy in their ships and cause misery and death wherever they go. Nothing more than galactic vermin to be dealt with as such.
So I'm drawing an Eldar with a little stupid hat on.
Now, remember, and I quote, all aliens are unclean, untrustworthy, faithless heretics, weak of mind and body, lacking in spirit, for the immortal emperor does not shine for them. His guiding light is only for man, and deserving of nothing more than slavery or death.
It's not casual racism, it's business racism.
It's professional racism.
Says here, professional racist? Yeah. Welcome aboard. Here's the Space Marine gun. And that's before they get dipped into the horrible space goo.
Why do you want to join the Imperial Guard? I don't know, I'm a little racist. Nah, those are rookie numbers, you gotta bump that up. So, lastly, sometimes people are ungrateful losers, and they reject the divine light of the Emperor of Mankind.
How dare they?
Because his light doesn't really reach everywhere in the galaxy yet, some of it is still in shadows. There are things in that shadow that want to do harm. A dark influence that corrupts the weak of mind and soul.
Oh, Slanesh.
And convince them to worship Dark Ones, abandoning the pure Imperial creed. These heretics are no longer people. Also, take that back. You said Slanesh.
Mm-hmm.
No such thing as Slanesh. There's no gods. There's only one god. It's the Emperor. There are no other gods. Quit it with that heretical talk.
I wasn't saying Slanesh was a god. I was saying that they're worshipping Slanesh, which is obviously a no-no.
Just Dark Ones. Just Dark Ones. They don't have names. They're just dark little things in the shadows. This is the Imperial truth. This episode is and only is the Imperial truth. So quit it with your ooh, what if there are other things? No.
There's only the Emperor, and if you think otherwise, please direct yourself to the nearest indoctrination temple.
Nope. Commissar.
Potato.
There's no indoctrination in the Imperium. Only
Indoctrination
commissars.
isn't that bad. Usually you get a free hat.
But if someone already questions the Imperial truth, then you just got to show them the Emperor's mercy. It's that simple. You don't retrain or correct poor behavior. Oh, you think something's bad? Emperor's mercy. It's quite simple. So, these heretics are no longer people. They have become mutants. Unholy things with corrupted souls.
Watch it.
And it's the work of the Imperium to stop them. But, luckily, the Inquisition put a stop to a lot of that before it becomes a problem. But, every now and then, the Guard have to bring light into the shadows and crush the forces of darkness, and every mutant killed is a soul saved from the impure darkness.
That's what you said about Terry last week. He was just showing us shoes.
Mutants will hide their marks and are known to infiltrate the Imperial Guard, so Guardsmen have to always be on the watch and scrutinize their fellow soldiers, and if any show signs of strange behavior, Corgi, or actions, Corgi, they have to be reported to their commissar, Corgi.
Stitches get stitches. Shut up, man.
Yeah. Even if they are your friends, Corgi, they have turned against you, Corgi, and the Emperor, Corgi, and any loyalty or love, Corgi, must be discarded and forgotten, Corgi. They are simply abominations to be purged, Corgi.
Okay, but hear me out. What if I draw a really slutty Emperor for you?
Corgi.
Fine, a really biblically accurate Emperor. Jeez.
Yes.
Worshipers are weird.
In this episode, and this episode alone, we treat the Emperor with the respect that he deserves.
By making
a lot of
horny
respect
picture of him.
that he definitely deserves in this episode, and this episode alone.
Wow, this is really slutty. Good for him.
Yeah. Anyway, so some mutations aren't even physical. The worst ones, minds and souls, are corrupted instead.
Let's not talk about
Quote, yeah. Are any of your comrades showing an ability to guess the future? Do they seem to be able to predict what you're going to say even before you say it? If so, don't waste another second. Do not allow the rot to spread in the ranks of the army of the pure. Koi, you gotta report those unholy abominations. Unsanctified psychers are a massive risk to everyone around them. The creatures in the dark can enter their minds and turn them into killers. Not me though, I would simply not go insane.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely not one of them.
Yeah, and actually, reporting them is the best thing you can do for them, as they are allowed a quick and dignified death instead of their souls being consumed by the mutating shadow.
And I'm gonna give him a silk robe. But yeah. Free them from the mutating shadow that makes them draw sexy emperors.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Obviously, none of this that I just said applies to sanctioned psychers or sanctioned mutants. He might look scary, and he might be lacking a soul, but that Ogryn does his best to serve the Emperor. However, if an Ogryn does appear to develop psychic abilities, be sure it aligns with the Imperial truth. And as we all know, Ogryns are too stupid to become psychers. That is the Imperial truth. So if they appear to be developing psychic abilities, we have to make sure that the Imperial truth stays true.
And if they have a third eye, just poke it out.
That means they're a navigator and something's gone terribly wrong.
Is that Ogryn piloting his fucking ship into the warp? Oh, we're fucked.
So, you guys do nothing but eugenics. Yep. Selective breeding. Yep. So you can create the best navigators possible. Yep. So why is one of you an Ogryn? Some stuff happened.
Don't be racist. Ogryn are people too. Sometimes. When it's beneficial for us.
Okay, so it is worth noting that the shadows can corrupt an area, and it is important to maintain concentration when you enter, as your mind and body become vulnerable in these areas. Quote, a strong smell is usually prevalent, like cooked blood and electricity, and the atmosphere permeated with evil. Not gonna lie, don't know what cooked blood smells like.
It's like regular blood, but a bit hot.
Yeah. Anyway, nosebleeds and nausea are very common symptoms of being in a corrupted area, such as a high school anime. Thank you. It's like the only joke in this episode. That's not very in character.
What, not having jokes or... God, what if...
There's jokes in this, but it's all very... haha, Imperium, great jokes. This is the only joke that's just like, this is... Another sign of corruption is to look for heretical symbols and graffiti.
So pretty much everything that spawns from my pen.
No. Hold up. So just when you're entering these corrupted high school areas, just as long as you keep faith in the Emperor and recite a holy prayer, you should be fine.
High school areas?
Yep. Told you. High school anime.
Oh, sorry, I thought you went back to the episode for a second there, and I'm like, they have high schools.
We went back to the episode, but I was continuing on for my joke. Yeah, it's fine. So, another sign of corruption to look out for is heretical symbols and graffiti. Quote, "The insidious enemy will seek to undermine your courage by placing potent icons and symbols and displaying heretical slogans or intentions in any way possible. Sacred areas may be desecrated and blasphemous tokens left in the place of austere memorabilia. In these cases, turn away. Do not sully your view with such monstrous vision. On seeing them, you will experience headaches and nausea. Remember these crimes and take punishment to the unworthy scum who perpetrated them. Also remember to keep an eye on your comrades while you're in these areas. Make sure everyone is as faithful as you are and report any suspicious behavior to your commissar."
So I just drew something that says Emperor is a bitch.
Again, Corgi, this is the episode of the Imperial Truth.
No, I'm showing an example of the naughty graffiti.
If you're showing an example, is it really an example, or are you committing a heresy?
You know what? I'm gonna repent by writing in red letters heresy over it.
Okay. Or you can repent by following me with this next bit. Lastly, we are going to end this video with a little prayer included in the back of the book, because the back of the book has a whole heap of prayers, right?
Uh-oh.
The Emperor is our guiding light, a beacon for humanity in a galaxy of darkness. As we serve him, he is our greatest servant. As we pray to him, his thoughts are only for us. And in the dark, when the shadows threaten, the Emperor is with us, in spirit and in fact. Remarks complete.
Ditto.
Yeah. So that's it. I need to go report Corgi to the commissar.
What? You said you wouldn't. You promised.
I don't know. There was a lot of suspicious behavior. There was a lot of
No. Wait, hang on. What if I draw something really funny for you?
Yeah.
It says the Emperor is a little bitch who needs to stop lazing around in his lazy boy and get his fucking ass up and do some yoga.
You see, this is the shit that I need to go to the commissar about.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going on record to say it right now. Redacted. Cut.
So, occasionally I do little wrap-up thoughts if I have something specific to say about the episode. Usually I don't, but I kind of went on a tear on the Gene Stealer Cult video because it was just like, oh, I liked this. I liked these guys, which I didn't expect to do going in. But like this one, my only real takeaway was a takeaway I already had. But man, people really do read shit like this and then go, yeah, the Imperium are the good guys. Like, I mean, that implies they actually read anything about the lore instead of just looking at the surface and going, oh, cool, fascism. I love fascism and racism. Woo! And not like critically engaging at all with the media that they consume. Everything is surface level. And if there are like themes, they're like, fuck that off. Themes? No. Themes are stupid. Anyway, can you tell I'm studying film at the moment? I'm not even like studying theory. It's entirely practical. But there's still like something we take note of. Also, like, I don't know, man, I'm tired. I'm just real sick of being in spaces where most of us are chill and there's one guy and you're like, hey, why are you into Warhammer? And they're like, I like role-playing genocide. And you're just like, kind of weird, but like, I get it. I play Stellaris. It's fun to occasionally play the bad guys. And they go, bad guys? Huh?
I love missing
like,
the
oh,
point.
cool. Yeah, cool, great, neat. That's fun. Love that for you. Please don't ever talk to me again. I might have written all this before I actually finished reading the episode. And exactly after the whole quote about how they deserve nothing more than slavery and death. Like, gee, that sounds familiar. I've heard that one before. So if you didn't watch the end of last week's episode, which you probably didn't, you might be wondering, wasn't this week supposed to be a Votan episode? And the answer to that question is quite simple. I should really stop saying what next week's episode is going to be, because I have something of a list, and I pick from what is going to be the most fun to read / my current vibe, and I wanted to do this episode before any Xenos stuff and Votan, which, like, they are new, so they aren't covered in this specifically, but they're still like Xenos, but they're not. The Abhumans. I wanted to do the Abhumans and the Xenos before we got into that, and then holidays and busy and blah 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 blah.
Every single time you say Wotan, I just think of Wu-Tang Clan.
I keep saying Votan, but sure.
That's what I meant. I have a bad speech impediment.
No, you don't.
No.
You said Wotan, which is the name of Odin.
It's also
Odin's
the name of a boss
Wotan.
from Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
It's a giant brain.
Sure, they took it from Odin. Anyway, but yeah, that's why, like, that whole thing is why, like, the Gaz episode isn't done yet, despite me researching it last year. Like, I read a whole book and I was going to work on it, but I wanted to get this episode out first, so Corgi had an entirely incorrect basis of knowledge on orcs before we went into the Gaz episode, because I thought that would be funny.
I barely have any knowledge of anything, including my own very being.
We trained her wrong as a joke.
Help! Help!
Yeah.
Can someone please install some stairs so I can get out of this basement? I miss the sunlight.
Did do Nids and G stills though before this episode. That was because I forgot this book existed and did that, and I went, oh shit, I should cover the book first because that would be funny. Funny to train her wrong as a joke. Anyway. That's it. Do the like, share, comment thing. We will see you next week, probably. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I don't like YouTuber boxing. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
What have we, like, I'm not against what's the word? Combat sports. I used to watch them. I still occasionally like keep up to date with them. But there is a difference between trained professionals fighting and YouTubers. And even if you put them in like training for like 3 months, they're still not trained professionals fighting. Maybe don't do that.
Oh, but brain damage.
Exactly. Like look, I don't like him at the best of times. And he was kind of fucking stupid when he was going on his rant. But Joe Rogan's rant about the Creator Clash boxing, apart from the glaring factual error, he was right. he goes.
Day everyone dies.
He goes on this rant about there's some creator called Dad, and he's like beating his son.
Oh, I love Dad.
Yeah, and he goes on a rant about that, thinking that Dad is actually the father, and he is physically beating his son in a boxing thing, not realizing that it's a character versus like just a different guy.
Nathan Barnett.
But he is talking about like, yeah, no, this is permanent life-altering injuries. Like it's small little injuries, but no one gets punched in the face and isn't injured in any way. You're not supposed to be punched in the face, and you can only take that so many times before it fucks you up permanently. But even then, it's just small little micro tears in your brain every single time. And as when your professional athletes start doing combat sports, that is a thing they are aware of, or at least should be aware of. And that's something that they are doing willingly. They are putting themselves at risk with any sort of sport. You are inherently putting yourself at risk because you can really, really fuck yourself up at high-level sports, especially combat sports or weight sports.
Not to mention they usually have on-site medics who literally immediately treat any sign of anything.
Yeah. They have that at, Creator Clash. They've got medics, but you also have usually, like high levels, you have some of the best of referees that can spot this shit immediately. Like, and then I'm sure for Creator Clash, again, it's probably just just guys. It's just like, oh yeah, they're pretty good referees that we got for as cheap as possibly can, while not being shit. The whole thing I don't like. Yeah. Well, I just expected you to understand what it was, so I felt like I needed to explain what Creator Clash was and why I don't like it. Whereas if you knew what Creator Clash was, you would be like, oh yeah, I understand why you're specifically targeting that thing in particular.
Of course I know what fucking Creator Clash is.
Yeah, but you didn't understand the reference.
Oh yeah, CTE.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, combat training experience.
No. I don't remember what CTE exactly is, but it's like concussive trauma something. Basically,
trauma?
It's what you get when you keep non-stop getting concussions. Fucking, like...
Chronic traumatic
yeah.
encephalopathy. I almost got that wrong.
So a lot of gridiron... Like, a lot of footballers can get it, but it's particularly prevalent in gridiron, which, if you don't know, gridiron is the Australian word for American football, which is a vastly better name, and you should all call it that. Stop being like, oh yeah, football, fuck off, gridiron.
Football is the one with the soccer ball.
Yeah, I don't even hate gridiron. I was one of the people who thought it was stupid, and then I saw people play gridiron as a video game, and it was that being able to be like, oh, it's military tactics, right? That's why you're pausing it constantly. It's Warhammer. You're playing Warhammer, but with a ball. Shout out to Blood Bowl, by the way. I think Adeptus Ridiculous just did a video on it. I've that's not me learning about Blood Bowl. I've known about Blood Bowl for fucking ages. But it was. It's just like it's being able to see what they mean by like, oh, what's their play? It's like, oh, these two are going to go over this way and flank these guys, and this guy's going to go over this way, creating an opening. So if this guy goes this way, they can grab the ball, and then they can chuck it to that guy who can then pass it to a flanker. Oh, I get it. I understand.
I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out midway through that because you just started saying balls, and I'm like, okay.
Once you understand what gridiron is, it's a much more interesting game.
I prefer the one from Futurama where they just got chased by giant balls.
I don't know what that is. Anyway, did you see that they're making Rocket League with people? Anyway, what was my point about gridiron? Oh yeah,
that
CTE.
It's basically Blurnswall.
Yeah, no, it's particularly prevalent in gridiron because you've got fucking armor. So as opposed to rugby, where it does happen a lot, people are a lot more like, I'm going to charge that guy, but I'm going to really protect my head, and I'm not going to hit that guy in the head. And they're a lot more, like, they don't hit as hard because they're consciously aware of the damage that they will do to their own body. Whereas in gridiron, it's like, I've got a fucking suit of armor. I'm fucking chill. I can just full-on headbutt this dude as hard as I can and not cause damage, which is true, but the vibrations still go into your skull and you still get traumatic brain injury. Woo!
Why do Americans play their fucking football like they've got free health insurance?
Because it's military tactics. I just said this. It's military war games.
Yeah, and you see how well they treat the
military. With a ball. But yeah, fucking... See, wrestlers also have most combat sports have CTE. Anyway, less depressing aside, other end of video content is, Corgi, did you ever consider the fact that I technically pay you an exposure? Like in a good way? Like you're an art billionaire just having all these drawings and you're like, no, you can't see them. They're all mine, and I force you to draw more and show them to the world.
I don't think I like hearing that, and because of that, I'm going on an art strike.
Nope.
What do you mean, no? I can do what I want.
No.
Oh. Fuck you.
You're gonna be my art goblin and you'll like it.
That's it, I'm drawing a big titty tyrannid.
Didn't you already do that in the tyrannid episode?
You think I keep track of the cursed shit I draw, man?
Draw yourself as an art goblin.
I'll see.
Yeah. You know the art goblin, right? You understand that reference, right?
I'm thinking of the art goblin as in from those... Well, it's not CG, but it kind of is.
No. So there's a Sims Tumblr post, I think, where they talk about every single time they make a family, they have the whole family, and then they have an art goblin, and they put the art goblin in the basement, and then delete the stairs from the basement, so it only lives in the basement, and the family never gets to interact with the art goblin, and they don't know it exists. And then they just like have the basic necessities and paint an easel, and they just do nothing but paint. And then they sell the paintings, and that funds the entire family above ground.
So basically, what's going to happen circa next year?
Yeah, I got it. Also, maybe watch that episode. I think that was quite possibly the worst episode we've ever made, but you know, it's fine.
Worst episode we've ever made so far.
Yeah, I did it a very different way. It was the first proper 40k episode we did, and I just didn't like how it came out. I went from heavily scripting the Age of Sigmar videos, with the exception of the first video, because that was me trying to figure it out, and I used more dot points, and then from then on it was very heavily scripted. And then for the Tyranid episode, because I know 40k a lot better, it wasn't as scripted, because it was just like pulling from knowledge that I already have, and it was dot points, and I felt it was very unfocused, and it needed to be heavily scripted, and all the 40k episodes from that point have been very scripted. I just don't think that episode was very good. But I'm sure plenty of people have watched that and gone, this is exactly like all the other episodes. But I hated it. That will probably just be an end of video content. But yeah.
What if 40k released a fucking high school edition? Like a high school anime version? Like a fucking... Sorry, I'm just distracted thinking of Ogrons and skirts.
Dating sim with the Primarchs.
Sanguinius, bring that ass.
They should do that, release a dating sim with the Primarchs, but make it like an in-canon game, because like Games Workshop's very like protective of their IP. But
so literally like you're playing fucking what's the Warhammer game we play? Darktide?
Darktide?
Yeah. So just you get a 1 in like 100,000 chance of walking past a screen and seeing a Servator skull just staring deadpan at the screen, and you just hear little flowery music, and it's like, yes, Sanguinius-kun, I will marry you.
like they have the like they have games, but they're usually tonally, they're not comedy unless it's based around the orcs. They don't really have comedy, like comedic sort of like tongue-in-cheek games around anything else. Like there might be like comedy, and just like Darktide is funny at times, but that's because it's just a bunch of fucking rando crims just doing rando crim shit.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas if it's just like, you know, Space Marine is never going to be inherently funny, because that's not the tone that game is supposed to go through. There might be some very dry humor, but there's not going to be like haha jokes, where, you know, Darktide does occasionally just have like really funny lines, really funny dialogue. But like, so there's no shot that they would ever approve a Warhammer dating sim, because it just does not match the tone of the setting. However, if it is established to be an in-canon game that exists within the canon, I can 100% see them approving it. Like this is a Inquisition Administratum like plan. Get everyone really big onto the Primarchs and be like, oh, these Primarchs are fucking awesome. I love these Primarchs, because dating sim. And it's all respectful to them. There's no like hardcore sex scenes. You're not getting fucking plowed by Lehman Russ. It's just like you can date the 9 and only 9 Primarchs that existed, and you know, you can see how great they are, how absolutely totally flawless they are, because they are perfect little boys, and none of them ever did anything wrong, and there's only 9 of them. It'd be fun.
I'm doing a purposely bad, like, fucking anime-esque thing of just Sanguinius. I just wanted to preface that because I swear my drawing skills are better than whatever the fuck I just done. Who do you romance? Oh, bro, I'm... Nah, fucking... Never mind.
Who did you romance? Oh, bro, I romance it redacted. He just seemed really angry all the time. It was kind of weird. It was wild that they had redacted in the game.
And I gotta admit, I have a thing for redacted people. Bold.
I really like these bold twins. I think they were called Redacted and Redacted.
Oh wait, no, sorry, I got it wrong. It was actually Redacted and Redacted.
I thought I was banging Redacted, and then he turned around and went, "It's actually me, Redacted. I am Redacted."
It was me, deal.
Anyway.
Maybe we should make the fucking dating sim.
Good.
Probably when we're less busy.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys? Let us know in the comments if you want to see us try and make a dating sim.
I could absolutely do it, but you would have to do so much art.
I already have so much on my plate.
And I just don't really want to be sued by Games Workshop.
Yeah, we can't really afford that.
But, to be fair, I think as long as we don't charge for it, it's technically fine.
Yeah. And we could always just do parody names. Like, instead of Sanguinius, we could just do, I don't know, Blood. Just...
Blood Drink.
Yeah.
Bloodman. Bloodman Bird Boy.
Bloodman and Alpha and Omega.
Do you want a romance Bloodman Bird Boy or Robot Gorilla Man? What about Common Raven? Or...
Unloved Son.
Or Lionel. Do you want to romance Lionel? Or what about Man?
I love Man. He's my favorite character.
Who's that coming over here? Oh, it's Michael Dorn. Played Worf in Star Trek. Definitely not a different Dorn. I think it's Michael Dorn.
God.